Okay, so here I am. It's early in the morning. The little boy wants to go check the mailbox to see if his Crunch Labs came. Crunch Labs is pretty sweet. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty great. It's a good time. It's all about building and creating and watching an engineering product, watching an engineering video. I'll show it to you. I'll try and show it to you again when it comes in. But anyway, so here I am. First thing I'm doing is getting my lemon juice ready. Yes, I know the counter is messy. Yes, I will clean it in a bit. It's just, honestly, it's just corn. It's pieces of corn and lettuce from yesterday. There's nothing that goes on our counter that's like super bad. It's just mostly vegetables. So I'm not big on cleaning the kitchen that much. So I get my lemon juice because that's what I always try to do to repair my cells, because I'm all about eating healthy stuff, except like trying to get as much healthy stuff in before I start eating stuff that's not healthy, right? Because I want my body to be, I don't know, I like to repair my body. So I have these strawberries cut up from yesterday in those small tiny mason jars. They're just over, they're a cup and a half. So I have that ready to go for my one son, because I find he's better in the morning if I give him something to eat while we're playing. Because the first thing we do in the morning at 6:30, my son will come in and let us know, or wherever he is, let us know that it is morning time. Oh, I hear the dog drinking out of the toilet, so I have to stop everything and be like, dude, what are you doing? Gross dogs. I love them, but gross. So then I go and I get a container, because this morning, instead of playing like we usually play, we are going to do Dungeons and Dragons. So I decide, we don't really know how to play Dungeons and Dragons. We kind of do, but I just looked online. So, okay, so I am getting some dishes out. I really like the Anchor dishes. They're just, for $25, you get a bunch of different bowls. They're glass. They can go in the microwave, dishwasher, whatever. So those are what I like to use. So I'm getting them out because I'm going to make myself some apples. Just some apple slices in the morning. Just so that when I go to play with the kids, so that I have something to eat. Now I decide I have a few minutes. I'm going to quickly take a few minutes before we start playing to clean up stuff. Or sometimes when we're playing, I say, okay, I need to give me a couple minutes, and I'll say I'm going to the bathroom, or I'm going to the kitchen to grab something, and I will just do a quick cleanup of the countertop. So normally I don't eat breakfast until after. I just have my lemon juice while we're playing. But today, Dungeons and Dragons, since we're sitting up on the couch, as you see, I can eat some apples. So I will eat some apples while we are playing D&D. So I quickly decide to clean the countertop. I know this is so exciting. I'm not really good at filming day in the life, so you have to forgive me. I'm actually trying to go through all the kitchen and all the kitchen cupboards throughout the day to declutter everything, because I'm trying to be a minimalist and see that cupboard's like super messy. So today I want to tackle that cupboard up there. That's where I keep my apples, just because I want everything off the counters. I don't like really anything on the counters, because the less stuff I see, the less stressed I am. So I decided, all right, I'm going to have some apples, which I have every morning for breakfast. So I'm trying to get all the healthy stuff in, the lemon juice and the apples, before I indulge in some chocolate, because I seem to have chocolate every morning. I love it. And I'm cutting a piece of apple for the dog, because the dog, Ranger, loves apples. He loves apples. Look at that big fella. He's almost 2. Going back upstairs, I think I'm going back up right now just to play with them. Yeah, just to play some D&D with them. We're going to sit on the couch and play. Now this is a rented house. We move a lot. So usually if we're not playing D&D, this is what we're doing, is I sit down at 6:30 in the morning. First thing I do is get up and sit down. After I get them each like a snack, or the youngest a snack. The youngest having a snack helps him kind of be a little easier to manage. So we're back, but we're not playing that. We're playing D&D. So here we are sitting down, hanging out. It's not super exciting, but this is just our time to just do something they want to do, so that they are better behaved. They are much better behaved if I give them, do whatever they do for 20 minutes every morning, whatever they want to do. And they decide, let's play Dungeons and Dragons. We're doing a Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons now, where the Dungeon Master, which is my middle son there, he rolls the dice, and he comes up with a story as to what planet we're on. And then, of course, we make our own decisions. Yep, and now we're back, and hopefully, yes, it's breakfast time. Thank goodness. I love it when we hit breakfast time. I try to make breakfast, I don't know, healthy and easy. Usually it's oatmeal, because oatmeal, I can fit a lot of healthy stuff into it, and oatmeal's not that expensive. But these, I bought one of those chocolate supplement things. I'll show you here. just so that I try to make stuff. Anytime I make one meal, I try to make doubles of it. And that includes, what am I doing? Following the dog around. And then I try to make doubles of anything I make, right? So when I'm cutting up strawberries, when I'm cutting up blueberry, whatever it is, so that I have extras the next day so that I don't have to do it. So when I made those shakes there, I just used that. I just bought a Walmart. It was rated pretty high. Mainly I like it because it's got greens in it. I wanted it's got like some sprouts in it, and that's what I wanted for it. It doesn't really have any sugar in it, but I mix it with a frozen banana and I blend it up with some water, and then they seem to like it so far. So I can make a couple, because I have a bunch of those little mason jars up there with the bananas. I can, because bananas are another cheap food, well then I can shake it up and we got ready to go. Kind of a before meal. I usually give a before meal, so before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. I can give one of those things as a snack or whatever, because it's not enough to fill you up. And then luckily this time I'm happy because I have cookies. When I make cookies, I make oatmeal cookies with maple syrup. The only thing is I do put mini chocolate chips in it. They're like allergy free though, so I wouldn't say the best thing ever. But at least so that I can fit in, again, I really want to fit in more minerals and more vitamins for their head, so that I get the flaxseed in there, and I get, this time I put in some omegas in the cookies that we're having for breakfast. And flaxseed, and then I do even put a little bit of seaweed in, which is why I put look at him, he's such a sweetie. He's looking at the TV. We have autism and ADHD, ODD. Between my two children, my third child, which is the oldest, there I am, scarfing down some chocolate chips, because life is better with chocolate. So I grab these and we head up, and we decide to head up. Now this is school, this is teaching. So I will show you when I decide what we're going to teach, but I have a big basket. I will show you the big basket that we go through. So we have a ginormous basket that we're going to go through full of curriculum. I'll show you that in a bit, because that's what I do in the afternoon after I'm done working. So now we're sitting here, we're going to get ready, and we are going to learn. The subject I've chosen to learn today is I want to do another science. I'm going through like 4 or 5 curriculums this year, and one of them that I want to do is this astronomy curriculum. It's actually the one the boys want to do. It's a great curriculum that is not really available for purchase anymore that I can see. But I will show it to you sometime, but it's great if you can find it. But anyway, I show you all my curriculum in various videos. I don't think I've showed you this yet because I just started using it. I've had it for a couple years, but I'm very excited about using it. So we're going to sit down and we are going to start. Now today also I'm going to start with a word a day. The word a day by Miss Wordsmith. So the word today is innovative. So we're going to talk about that for a bit, because it has a bunch of synonyms. Again, I've showed it to you in the curriculum video. So yeah, there is the curriculum book, some of the current curriculum I'm using, but I'm always changing or adding more. Usually I'm adding more, and then sometimes I get knee deep in it and I'm like, oh, screw that. It's a waste of time, or it's too young for them or too old for them. We're not going to do it. But for the most part, so with the ADHD, some of the things that are very important to consider that I do is, besides diet, making sure they get a lot of vitamins, minerals, making sure there's not too many stimulating things, like that the games they play are pretty boring on their iPads and stuff, is the ODD requires that you parent differently. It's the youngest with the little red hair there. But for the most part, as far as teaching goes, I make sure that the curriculum I've chosen is very specific for each kid, right? Like everyone does. But we're not doing a lot of handwriting, which is how we go through a lot of curriculum. I'm reading the science curriculum. No one's reading it to me. They have a separate time where they practice reading every afternoon. I show you in a bit that they will read to me, and we go over math then. But handwriting, there's not a lot of handwriting to be done. If there's things to memorize, I take them and I put them on sheets in Canva. And let me show you. And so I will make up sheets like this with mnemonic devices on them. So, usually not as complicated. This was from the Generations stuff that we were doing that I think I'm going to put off finishing till next year. Just because it is an older, I don't know, it's not a big deal. We don't have to do it this year. And I thought, why not? I have other curriculums, science curriculums I want to finish first. So we are going through, and so that's how they remember a lot of it. Okay, so now I'm teaching the astronomy curriculum, because I have specific science curriculum that has 1, 2, 3, 4, all the 5 different areas of science, and so it's called Focus On, and so we're focusing on astronomy right now. This is new. This is what the kids wanted to focus on, so we're going to do astronomy. And so I'm going to teach
even when the little
until,
list starts,
usually I finish a chapter. So whether it's history, whether it's grammar, whatever it is, I still finish up the chapter. And at the end of the chapter, there's always questions. But instead of writing the questions, I just do it orally, and I ask them orally. And again, I make those sheets, and like I was saying, is once a week, we can go through those sheets, or once, whenever. I got to do it more often, but we will go over those sheets. Yeah, so I'm basically teaching grades 1 through grade 3 mostly, is what I'm teaching. Combination, a lot of, I guess you call them family style subjects, even though they weren't really meant to be family style. Yeah, so then I do that till I'm sure that we are done that chapter, and then I'm like, all right, that's it, I'm out of here. So this is my time where I will film a video. So I will, decide what I'm going to film. And so basically from, I don't know, I guess around 9 a.m., maybe 9 a.m. till they start hanging around me again, 9 to 11. Not even, I don't necessarily, you know, it is your mom, you don't necessarily get 2 hours. So I go through and editing videos. So if I filmed one the day before, because sometimes I film them in the afternoon, and so that's what I'm gonna do, is go through and film it. That's a very fun game. I show a game in the videos, as you know. This is Shut the Box. It's a good time. It's a pretty good time. It's a pretty good game. And once I am done filming and editing, then it's almost time for lunch. So the kids, what they will do is they will play by themselves. So while I'm editing, which is what I'm doing as I talk to you, and that curriculum there I'm actually showing you right now, if you can see it, it is great for autism. I've switched curriculums. We are doing a different curriculum, but however, at lunch, we go over another subject. I do the same thing, a different subject, and then after that, basically what I do is, so they each have a reading and they each have a math to do. We could do the mental math there, if I'm feeling super lazy. But generally that's the reading. There's their mathematics. And so they have to do reading and math, and usually they have to do handwriting. I just haven't been pushing it lately because I'm just not in the mood to. So that is their math book. That is the reading for the one book, which is the Craft Right Brain Readers, which I've showed you before. And this is the reading for the other, which was the Craft Brain Readers, but I switched them to Abeka down there. And there's are all the Abeka books at the back. And there is a lot of read alouds that I want to tackle this year. I'm always torn about which read aloud to do. But essentially after that, what I do is, for the next day, now that the kids, so say it's lunch, they've done their lunch, and after that, after they've cleaned up, now's the time for them to clean up, do all the cleaning up, once their math is done, they sit next to me after lunch, we do math, we do their reading, then they can get their chores done, and then they're allowed on their iPads, and that is where then I can sit down and go through. So this is where in the afternoon, while they're getting on their iPads or doing whatever it is they want to do, this is my relaxed time in the afternoon, because by now it's about 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock I'm starting to relax, because 4 o'clock is dinner time. That's when I start to make dinner, finish dinner, or whatever. Get dinner ready for all of us. So, and then during dinner I will read usually some type of religious book, because I'm either a fast eater or I'll eat after with my husband, because his dinner takes a lot longer. And so now I'm going through a curriculum and wondering, like, hey, tomorrow during breakfast and lunch, what do I feel like teaching? These are all the things I want to cover. And yeah, that's the food web. But we all know a food web, and this is like you have to make your own food web? I don't know. I'm debating it, but in the end, I decide to pass on it. And I look through and decide, okay, well, I can finish up this science. That's one of the science curriculums we're covering. I can finish it up and see if I can finish that. Or wait, I got that new curriculum, which is what I did end up using. And I go over here and see, hey, is there any other books from this shelf that I want to throw in there? So there is the Focus on Astronomy. There is the Come Look With Me. That is an art curriculum. And then I got some safety books here that I haven't looked up in a while, and I'm like, hey, have you filled your bucket today? That's a good one. Super Duper Safety School is one of the best. Those are all 3 really good books that I decide, okay, well, you know, during breakfast and lunch tomorrow, these are maybe something I'll consider, but I'll just go shove them in the basket and see what I feel like. The bottom line is, what do I feel like in the morning? But I also go over the math lesson too here to see like, hey, math wise, is the teacher's manual, like, is there something I need to know for tomorrow? And yeah, then usually I'll sit in my chair and I'll read my book. I can't find that video for you right now, but if I find it, I will put it in. So I'm reading a pretty good book and just relax for a couple hours, plan out my videos for tomorrow. Yeah, look through the curriculum that I want to cover. That big bin there is all the curriculum that I want to cover today. Reading 2A, look at that. Look at that. So take a look at this. This is really good. I'm going to show you into, so basically how it works is, this is from BJU Press. We're covering rhythm now. So it's story elements, essentially. And so this is rhythm, what a rhythm is, and then it's got a poem, and then it goes on to a story where there's kind of a rhythm into the story because of their names. And then at the end of the story, it has just a few questions. So you don't need a teacher's manual, you don't need anything else, just a few comprehension questions you can ask kids. At the end is some vocabulary you could talk about. So I love reading that too. So sometimes at lunch I'll pull that out. I mean, just whatever I'm in the mood for. There's everything in there. There's vocab, reading comprehension, just any of the books that are written down in my planner, if you will. So I'm a very simple planner that I want to cover this year during school. That's super important to me that we wrap up, finish up. Yeah, and so that's about it. And then, I mean, nothing too exciting. I know, I wish it were more exciting, but we do cover a lot. Like I said, we're going through 4 science curriculums this year, so we do cover a lot of stuff. And then with all the worksheets I make, which doesn't take long, not worksheets, but these sheets I'm excited to read, that's the astronomy curriculum we are covering now that I'm pretty excited about. That's focused on elementary grades K through 4, can be done anytime during those years. And yeah. Okay, so I guess that's it. I mean, that's my day. That's my day every day. So that gives me, yeah. So I focus on systems more than goals. So this year, my system is that every day I'm going to get up and make a video for YouTube to see how that does by the end of the year. I don't watch a lot of TV at the night. Right now I'm watching King of Queens with my husband on DVD. But other than that, I don't watch much TV because I'm like, what do I do with my hands? But I read a lot. So I definitely like reading. So it's not that I don't waste time. And I'm also trying to, so I try to like pin down, hey, what's the most important thing I want to cover this day? Well, I want the kids to do math. I want to clean out the cupboard. And this is like in addition to things, but these are like my top most important things. And I want to make a video. So there you go. I hope another day in the life was relatively interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to get better at filming them. So fingers crossed. Okay, bye-bye.